Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishabhai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Samasta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram Sadgurum Brahma Vidvaram. Om Shri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha. Om Namo Narayanaya. Tasmai Namaswami Tapovanaya. Hari Om. In last class, we saw some lifestyle management tips from Bhagavan Shri Krishna through Bhagavad Gita verses. Now, again, especially for a spiritual sadhaka, that also was meant for a yogi, for a practitioner of meditation. But we could apply it for practical life also, how to live a happy and a healthy life. The same tips could be used. For a spiritual sadhaka, especially, this has a very deep meaning. Further in the 17th chapter on Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, Bhagavan Shri Krishna specifies certain sadhana for a spiritual seeker. He specifically says, Yajna, Dana, Tapak, Karma, Pavanani, Manishinam, and Natyajam, Karyam Eva Tat. That is, these three things must be done. Not only for a spiritual sadhaka, for anyone who wants to live a noble life, a good life, a dharmic life. A dharmic life has to live these three things. What is this? Yajna, Dana, Tapaha. One must not give up at any time. Because these three purify us. Purify us. Yajna, Dana, Tapaha. Yajna, by the word yajna, we commonly, what comes to mind is the puja, ritual, the ritualistic portions of worship. Right? Whatever is offered and done as a ritual, as a puja, as worship. That is yajna. Yajna can also mean duties. We know that yajna is of 5 types. We're not going to go deep into yajna and dana today, but I'm just mentioning. Yajna are our duties. Our duties towards devatas in the form of puja, worship, visiting temples and doing their rituals and all that. Our duties towards our pitrus, ancestors, in the form of the Shraddham ceremony, Pitru Karma, Tarpanam, taking care of the elderly people, to our ancestors, basically, the duties that we owe to our ancestors, the duties we owe to the devatas, the deities and nature. Deva Yajna, Pitru Yajna, Nara Yajna, that is the duties towards fellow human beings that we have in our society, in the family, in the nation, in our organization or institution, workplace. We have certain duties. All that is our duties that we owe towards the other human beings. Bhuta Yajna, that is towards other creatures, plants, animals, whatever duties we owe to them, to preserve them, to nurture them. And Rishi or Brahma Yajna, that is to our spiritual gurus, masters, we owe a great duty, that is to study, to follow, abide, and spread the spiritual message. So all these come under Yajna, and Dana is charity, and Tapaha is austerity. So these three things, he says, Not only for a spiritual sadhaka, for everyone he advises, these three should not be given up. These three purify us. These three make us noble. Therefore, this should not be given up. And how it has to be done, how it should not be done, that also he explains. Satvika yajna, Satvika dana, Satvika davam. What is it? That's what we should do. We should not engage in Rajasika or Tamasika yajna, dana, tapaha. All that he explains in chapter 17, Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga. Particularly, we are going to take upon tapaha, austerities. Austerity for discussion in today's class. So this is a sadhana not only for spiritual attainments, but also for material success. Tapaha or austerity, penance is very important. Is very important, isn't it? Anything anyone has attained is due to tapaha, austerity, penance, hard work, that only. That is what is not in our luck and what is not in our fate also can be attained through penance, austerity, hard work, isn't it? So, tapaha or austerity, when we say, this has been glorified, praised in so many texts, in Upanishads also, in so many places. Taddi tapaha, so sa tapo taptva, like that in many places in Taittiriya Upanishad, in Katha Upanishad, many places we see that importance is given to tapaha. The very word tapaha means austerity, that which removes our sins, that which removes our sins and purifies us. Tapa means what? That which heats us up, right? So by heating as so, when you heat gold and it becomes molten, the impurities are gone. Similarly, as we take up austerities, it causes some sufferings, some pains that we need to endure. And in turn, all these impurities, impure vasanas, and wrong tendencies are removed and we are purified. So the very word tapaha, austerity, means to efforts that we take to purify us. Okay. So we said it's glorified in the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita. Also, Bhagavan has asked us to do tapaha, and what kind of tapaha we should always do tapaha. He says, do not give tapaha at any cost. It is not to be given up. When he talks about sannyasa also, he says, do not give up tapaha. Natyajam. Karyam eva tada. It is not to be renounced. Tapaha is not to be renounced. Renounce everything else, but do not give up yajna dana tapaha, he says. So what is it? What is this tapaha? Before we go into what it is, in Tirukkural also, Thiruvalluvar has a whole adhikaram. He has dedicated a whole adhikaram, meaning a whole chapter to tapaha, davam. He says it is possible to attain anything in this world through davam, therefore start doing it now. Even to the Grihastha Ashramis, he says, it is not that only the sannyasis, the monks should take up davam. Even the householders, those who are in Grihastha Ashrama, household life, should take up tapas, he says. He says, through tapas, one can get rid of one's enemies, can achieve anything in this world, and also one can support his friends through davam. And one who does davam, tapaha, is worshipped by all beings, he says. And like the gold which bears the pains for it to get purified, the pains and sufferings that come in our life make us pure and make us shine us forth. So endure them cheerfully, he says. Through davam, it is possible even to win Lord Yama, he says. Like that, in this whole adhikaram, he praises and glorifies the tapaha, davam to that extent, and calls out everyone, even to grahasthashramis, to engage in davam. And what is davam? First of all, you should tell us what is davam. Even in Ramayana, the greatest Itihasa that talks about the life of Sri Rama, starts with the word tapaha, tapaswadhyaya niratam. That's how it starts. So we see in our Purana Itihasas, in Upanishads, in Bhagavad Gita, and so many texts in so many regional languages, this tapas is glorified, is praised, and all great masters have asked us to do, has called us out to engage in davam. So we must know what it is. What it is. In World defines this as to endure the pains and sufferings that come upon us, and to abstain from causing pains and sufferings to other beings. Whatever pain and sufferings that come to us, we should endure. By fate, some may come. Suddenly we fall sick, we have cold, whatever, endure it. Whatever different difficulties that come, to endure it. Some we may take up upon ourselves also. That is, I want to follow this Ekadashi Vratam. So I will fast. And this fasting will cause some pain, to endure it. So endure the pains and sufferings that come automatically, or that we take up through Vratam, and endure it, and to abstain from causing pain and sufferings to others. Very beautifully, that is where Valdavar stands apart. Not to cause pain to others also is davam. He includes only then that austerity is full, because otherwise Hiranyakashipu, all these people, these great asuras also have done so much tapas and got wounds, isn't it? But where they failed, their davam was not complete, because they concentrated on something and got it. They did hard work towards something, endured pains, and focused their energies on one thing and got the boom. But they did not, they caused sufferings to others also. Therefore, it cannot be called davam. It makes it complete, what Valdavar has defined as austerity. Okay, so such tapas, what is it exactly, as defined by Sri Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, we'll see. So tapas or austerity is to be performed at all three levels. Bhagavan Shri Krishna says it has to be performed at all three, taken up at all three levels. That is kaika, at the body, at the physical level, bodily. Then vangmaya tapaha, the speech level, and manomaya tapaha, at the mental level, at the mind level. So austerity means at all three levels one must be careful and alert. What is it? We will see one by one. First, sharirika tapaha. Sharirika tapaha or kaika tapaha, the austerities that are to be taken at the physical level by the body, at the physical plane. So this does not mean whenever the word tapaha or davam, we hear immediately one picture, mental picture will come of someone standing on one leg in the middle of some water or in the middle of fire, and all such things. Bhagavan does not say any such physical exertion or persecution of the body in the name of austerity as tapaha. We will see what he means. So the certain words are there which intimidates us, right? Generally, because of the mental picture or the what do they say? The preformed opinions that we already have, it causes some intimidation. Vairagya, or davam, when we hear it, it just really scares us. So, but when we hear it, when we see what Bhagavan has explained, at the end of it, we will feel confident that to whatever extent we can do, we can start practicing from today. And some of us must be doing some of this already. But how to do it consistently and how to follow it up properly, with what attitude we should do. That's what Bhagavan is going to guide us on. Okay. So here in the 17th chapter, 14th sloka, he talks about Sharirika Tapa. He says, Deva Dvijaguru Pragnya Pujanam Shaucham Arjavam Brahmacharyam Ahimsacha Sharirika Tapa Uchyate. 5 things he mentions. Deva Dvijaguru Pragnya Pujanam, that is 1. Shaucham, Arjavam, Brahmacharyam, Ahimsa. So Pujanam, first word what he says is Pujanam. Pujanam is worship. All this worship involves physical body. Right? So worship of whom, that also he mentions. Deva, Deva, deities, God. So going to temple or physically at our home, at the puja room, at the puja altar, doing namaskar, offering flowers, doing archana, and doing the puja and namaskar and worship and archanam, vandanam in the temple or at home in our puja altar, doing homam, havanam rituals whenever needed, possible, worship of our deities, murti puja that we do. There are then all these special occasions. Krishna Janmashtami was over now. Vinayaka Chaturthi will come, and then Navaratri will come. So all those occasions are special occasions for us to invoke our deities and do puja, or at least offer some flowers and do some archana, or at least offer our namaskara at their feet. That is important. That involves our body. That is a kind of tapaha, he says. Deva pujanam. Then Dvija pujanam. Pujanam is worship. Worship of 4 people. 4. What is this? First is deities. Second is Dvija. Dvija means twice born. Normally, it is sometimes used to refer to a Brahmana. Okay. But Shankaracharya ji clarifies it as samskara yukta. Samskara yukta. That is one who is cultured, not just by birth, but by their behavior, by their culture, by their knowledge. One who is learned and scholarly and has that culture and that behavior, which demands respect. Okay. So to a cultured person, worship of such persons means what? That we automatically do. Like when we see, it is very much in our culture itself. When we see someone elderly or very, very, very noble, very learned, a scholarly person, sometimes even to priests in the temples who do puja for us, to sannyasis, to our teachers, we do namaskar, we offer our respect and obeisance, right? So he says that is also tapaha, that we should do at the body level. We should not have an air of arrogance and say, okay, they taught me and that's over, that's it. Not like that. So that is pujanam of Deva, Dvija, Guru, our Guru, of course. Of course, our Guru. We should offer our reverential worship, namaskaram, and service, all these things to our Guru. Pragnya here, Bhashikara Bhagwan Shankaracharya ji mentions that these are, Pragnya refers to other realized masters, Mahatmas, Jivan Mukta Purushas, who may not be our Guru. There are so many realized masters, there are so many Mahatmas, but yet our Guru is someone special, and we offer our puja, our worship, our service, and our namaskaras to our Guru, yes. But that doesn't mean we do not worship or we, slight other great masters. For example, if we go or see Ramana Maharishi picture, or we go to that ashram, we should offer our namaskaras there also. He may or may not be. If he is our Guru, definitely. If he is not our Guru also. And living masters, realized masters, or great Mahatmas also are there. And how will we know? How do we not know? That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. But whether they deserve or not, when we do our worship, when we offer our service, whatever little service that they need, or when we do our vandanam and we do namaskar, our ego is reduced and our mind is purified. Every time thinking whether this person is a sannyasi, all right, but does he deserve our namaskaras? Should I prostrate to him? Should I salute to him? He's a priest, all right. She's a teacher, all right, but should I do this? She taught me at one point, but now should I do all these kind of questions and doubts only increases our arrogance, isn't it? But with a pure mind, if we do it, whether they deserve it or not, it purifies us. Gurudev himself set example for this. Gurudev used to invite great realized masters to address his people, that is, to address his batch of students, brahmachari students. And Guruji has quoted these incidents. He used to invite Anandamayi Ma and Swami Gangeshwarananda ji, great realized souls and masters, Mahatmas. Gurudev used to invite. And when he invited them to address the brahmacharis, and when they would come, he would himself run out and call them at the doorstep and call them and invite them and do namaskara and give them a nice seat and sit at their feet. See, Gurudev, realized master himself. Why? In front of the other brahmacharis, they would be like, Guruji has said these incidents, has quoted these incidents. Because for us in Chinmaya mission, Gurudev is everything. Right? We are seeing before us a Jivan Mukta Purusha. And he is so humble and so offering his pujanam towards someone else. That is very astounding. And when they see Gurudev offer his own seat to Swami Gangeshwarananda ji and himself sitting at his feet, now the other brahmacharis do not know what to do. They all stood up and were standing the whole time because they cannot sit on the floor also. Now Gurudev is seated on the floor. Through example, he was also prostrated to Shankara Matha head. At that time, the Shankaracharya. Why? So that he sets an example. Deva Dvija Guru Pragnya Pujanam. Everyone should do. It's not that I am a realized person, I don't have to do this now. He set an example for all of us. Okay. So this is something at the body level, offering our reverential namaskars and little seva, whatever we have to do at that time, we do it. Deva Dvija Guru Pragnya Pujanam. At the body level, this is tapaha. Then Shaucham. Shaucham is cleanliness. Cleanliness, we have to have our body and mind clean, but here the emphasis, since it is Sharirika Tapaha, is on the body level. So bodily cleanliness, cleanliness of our physical body, of our clothes, of our surroundings, that is very important. That is a davam, he says. Arjavam. Arjavam is what? Arjavam means Rijatvat Arjuna. Arjuna, the very word Arjuna comes from Arjavam, being straightforward, guileless, simplistic, without any hypocrisy, without any damba. That is Arjavam. Why it is put at the physical level? At the physical level, being very simplistic by appearance, the clothing, the way we walk, the way we talk, the way we conduct ourselves. Arjavam meaning simplistic, without any damba or without any pretentiousness and hypocrisy, being simplistic, without any showing off. Simple living, simple conduct, simple way of walking, talking, conducting ourselves, and straightforwardness also. Not just showing as simple. Being very simple by nature and following a simplistic way of living. That is Arjavam. Brahmacharyam. Brahmacharyam, the verbally, the word meaning means celibacy. And that is also very important. Actually, 4 ashramas are there: Brahmacharya, Grihastha ashrama, Vanaprastha ashrama, and Sannyasa ashrama. If we divide our life into 4 quarters, this is what it is. They say 25-25, we can say, or 20-20, because now nobody lives up to 100 years, 80 years, maybe 70 to 80 years. So except for the Grihastha ashrama, Brahmacharya is prescribed at the physical and mental level also for all the 3 ashramas: student life, retirement life, Vanaprasthi, and Sannyasi. For Grihastha ashrama also, it has to be within limits, it has to be dharmic. Okay, that is celibacy. And not only celibacy, Brahmacharyam also means non-indulgence of all senses. For all senses. That is, from all kind of sensual pleasures. Having restraints and curfews in all kinds of sensual pleasures. Not indulging too much in sensual pleasures. Whether it is too much watching entertainment, watching TV or mobile, or eating, listening to music, all these engages our senses. To be indulgent in that is bad, because it really, what does it do? It just drains away our vitality, isn't it? So davam means to preserve our energy and channelize it towards a particular goal. Therefore, brahmacharyam is very important. To refrain from too much indulgence, non-indulgence in all these, of all the senses and the sensual pleasures. To have certain restraints and be moderate. Already Bhagavan had said, yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu. There also he talked about moderation. Moderation in recreation, moderation in food, moderation in sensual pleasures. Okay, so brahmacharya. And ahimsa. Ahimsa is to hurt. And ahimsa, not to hurt. Not to hurt any creature. Any creature. Even those who come to hurt us, to have ahimsa towards them. Is ahimsa. To be non-violent towards them. See, this is for a spiritual sadhaka. This we are not going to ahimsa. Everybody, it doesn't suit everybody. This ahimsa cannot be given to a kshatriya who's a warrior, who's not like that. It has to be understood correctly. Okay, so we are talking about spiritual sadhana, one who is dedicatedly, towards spiritual attainments. One wants to uplift oneself, purify oneself. Then all this is prescribed. Deva Dvijaguru Prajna Pujanam, Shaucham, Arjavam, Brahmacharyam, Ahimsa. Okay. So all these things. So, worship of all those who deserve, that is our Guru and realized masters and Devatas and cultured people, learned people, great people. Cleanliness at the body level and our surroundings, being straightforward and simplistic, arjavam, being moderate and being celibate, that is brahmacharyam, and ahimsa, non-violence towards all creatures. This is at the sharirika level, tapaha. Okay. I've read somewhere, Gurudev, when he was with his guru, Tapon Maharaj, he saw a person every day at Ganges. When he would go for meditation, he would see that person standing on one leg for hours in Mother Ganga with his hands like this. In the initial stages, He felt very intimidated. He thought, maybe after some days, I will have to do all these things. So he went up to Taponji Maharaj and he said, Maharaj, I don't think I will be able to do all these things. This person is doing so much tapas. For hours, he's standing on one leg in Mother Ganga, and I'm seeing day after day for so many days. It seems impossible for me. How he has so much tapobalam? How he is able to do so much austerities like that? I don't think I can ever do it. Will I also have to do certain things like this? Then Tapon Maharaj told him, please go tomorrow and talk to him. Make a conversation and find out what he is doing and why he is doing. So that is what Gurudev did. The next day, after that man, came from Ganges, after his hours of standing there in one leg, he entered into a conversation, asked him where he's from, what he is doing, and why he's doing, and all that. And that man revealed to him that he is from some place in Gujarat, a small farmer, and his landowner drove him out, pushed him and his family on the streets. So he wants to take revenge. That's why he's doing this davam. That's what he said. When I'm going to do this davam and get all the strength, and with that focus, I'm doing this davam. When when Gurudev heard this, he understood what Tapon Maharaj meant. Okay, so it's not persecuting the body, and it is not with what attitude, for what goal are we doing this also matters. So matters. Okay. So then the next one is Vangmaya Tapaha at the speech level. At the speech level, what are the things that we should do? See, our tongue has dual role, eating and speaking. If we can control our tongue in both these activities, we can attain many things in life. At speech level, we are going to see Vangmaya Tapaha. We have read about great people who have achieved so many things by the way they speak only. Haven't we read about Tenali Raman, so many diplomats? Now also we come across or read about them, how they are able to solve very, very big issues and problems and avoid wars and bring about peace and harmony also and achieve so many things just through speech. It is a great power that we have. Speech is such a power. In those days, Avayar was glorified for that. Great kings also used to give her big tasks. She used to be the Duta, messenger. She was sent to convince Lord Muruga himself. Isn't it? So how her speech must have been. So for it to be so sweet, pleasant and effective. Isn't it? Our Gurudev used to say, was when someone asked, Gurudev, how are you able to manage everything? How do you have so much assets? Because he has started all these ashrams and temples. How did you manage everything? I said, all this is my ancestral wealth. Everybody was surprised when they heard this. Your ancestral wealth? Yes, this tongue is my ancestral wealth. And with this tongue only, speaking only, I've been able to build this big machine, this empire that you see. All these centers and ashramas and temples and everything. So if one can follow Vangmaya Tapaha, follow these austerities at the speech level, they can achieve anything. And we know one word spoken wrong also can destroy us, can destroy relationships, can destroy harmony between nations. Some relationships and friendships that matter a lot, that has taken an entire lifetime to build, that also is broken by a single word sometimes. Isn't it? So one has to be very careful what one speaks and how one conveys some message. Bhagavan says, Anudvega karam vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayate. Swadhyaya abhyasanam chaiva tapo vangmayam uchyate. What is this? Anudvega karam. Udvega karam is to provoke. To provoke. Anudvega karam is not non-provoking, non-agitating. non-agitating. Satyam is truthful. It's truthful. Priyam, pleasant words. Hitam, beneficial words. Swadhyaya abhyasana. Abhyasa is practice. Practice of swadhyaya, that is study of scriptures, chanting the suktas, the glory of Bhagavan, Vishnu Sahasranamam, Gita Parayanam. So these are doing all this is Vangmaya Tapaha. So we have only seen the word meaning of Vangmaya Tapaha today. We have to reflect more on this and also finish Manomaya Tapaha. I thought I could finish all three, but these are taking time. We will do it in the next class. Okay. So word meaning, what we saw of Vangmaya Tapaha is to speak what is truth, what is beneficial, and what is pleasant. Anudvegakaram is not speaking words that irritate, agitate, provoke, hurt others. And study of scriptures and parayanam of stotrams and suktas and glorifications and hymns of Ishvara, Bhagwan. All these things are Vangmaya Tapaha, that purify our speech. So let us see what it is, because it's very important we practice this. We conclude today's session with this. We'll continue this sadhana in Gita topic on Friday. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om Ma.
Hari Om.